Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and in this video we are going to create a Flutter Firebase sign in and sign up screen. So as you can see, this would be our end result. So you'll be able to create something like this, and you should be able to log in and you should be able to sign up. So when we click on the sign up, we will see the sign up screen. So if you enter the username, I'll enter Harshivo, and I'll enter an email ID. I will enter my email ID at gmail.com, and I can enter any password which I like. I will enter welcome, and then I'll sign up. So on click of sign up, I will be logged in, and you can see this is my home screen. There's nothing on this home screen, just a logout. So when you log out, you will come back to the login screen and you can log in again. So I can enter the email ID I just entered. With that, I created my email, my account, and then enter the password, that is welcome, and sign in, and I should be able to sign in. So this we will be doing using Firebase, and it should be very simple to do it. So let's first create this UI. So what I have over here in this project, this is the sample project. So you can see the project which we are working on, that is the base project what we get from Flutter. So we will convert this project to the project for which I showed you the demo. So let's get right into it. So let me just delete the default project first of all. So let me delete this because we don't want to create that kind of screen. What we want is to create a sign in screen, sign up screen, and home screen where we'll just have a logout option, right? So let me just create new folders first. So I'll create a folder called screens, and I'll keep all my UI screens in this folder. So I will have sign in screen dot dot, and then I'll have a sign up screen, sign up screen dot dot, and then I'll have my last home screen dot dot. So three of the screens we'll have in our application. So the first screen which we need is the sign in screen. So let's go here and write STFUL, stateful widget, and name it sign in screen, and let's import our material. Okay, now we need something. If you remember, we need a background gradient. So let's convert it to scaffold, right? And let's just first call this from our main page so that it appears. So it is sign in screen. Okay, so that issue is gone. Now in scaffold, I don't need an app bar. This is the default one, so let's leave it to that. Let's create a body, and in the body I need a container, and in the container I need a box decoration, which is called decoration, and then we call box decoration, and we need gradient, right? So for gradient we need colors. So I'll just say linear gradient, and I need colors. So I already have the colors defined. So you see these are the color. To get those hex colors into colors, we have to convert the hex color to our color which is accepted in Flutter. So we will create a colors util. So let's create a new folder and call it utils, and then in this folders we'll create a new file and we'll name it color underscore utils dot dot, right? And then in this file I have created the code over here. What it does is, this is just a function which takes a string hex color and then convert it into the color which is accepted in the Flutter. So we will just call it. So over here we need a list of colors. So hex to string color, and we'll pass our color string. So actually I have all the colors defined over here, so I'll just use it. So let me just replace it with all the colors so that, okay, so now all these colors are here. So if I run my application, so let's just go back to our current application, this one. So okay, so I have this type, this type of color. But if you see the starting and ending is not correct, so let's give it a begin. So begin will be alignment dot top center, and end would be alignment dot bottom center. So we will have our alignment. Okay, so now we have the background ready. Now what we want is we need an logo on the top. So for the logo we need to first have the image, right? So we have to get the image and declare it in our pubspec.yml. So let's first create a folder and call it assets, right? And in assets we'll create one more folder and we'll call it images, and in this I will put my image. So this is my image, so let me just drag it and put it over here. Yeah, and I should have access to it only if I just uncomment this line and I'll say assets slash images, and all the images in this folder would be available to me. So let me just run our pubspec Flutter pubget and I should be able to access that. So let me just fast forward the UI part of this sign in screen so that I don't bore you, and then I'll explain you. Now if you see, we have our image ready, right? So what we did is we created a single child scroll view, and then in that there is some padding. Like I am creating it from top, so of height I'm just multiplying it with 0.2, and then that is how it's created. Like that is how I decide from top how much distance it would be. And then there is some padding like 2020, that's up to you. And then I have created this logo widget. So I created a method which returned me a widget, right? Or not writing it over here so that our code looks much cleaner. And instead of so let's say you want to create this logo, let's say you want to have this logo in your home screen or somewhere else also, right? And maybe you can pass your width and height also in the function instead of just the image. So right now I'm just passing the image path and it returns me the image. So instead of keeping it here, I can create a new folder and say reusable widgets, right? And I will create a new file and I'll call it reusable widget dot dot, right? And in that I will have my no, not this. Let me just copy it, image logo widget, reusable widget, and just copy it from there. Yeah, so we have this reusable, so that everywhere if I need it on my sign up screen also, I'll just call it from here, right? And then I can remove it from here and just import the reusable widget.dart file in this file. So that's what I'll do. I'll create a reusable text field as well and then call it over here so that I won't have to create it again for username and password and email ID, everything. So for all our text field will look same. So for the same look and feel, we will create a reusable text field. So let me fast forward the reusable text field coding part. Okay, so if you see, we have our text field ready, and what we did is we created a reusable text field over here. Why we did it? Because we know that we will be using similar kind of text field multiple times. We'll be using it in the sign up screen, and we are already using it in sign in screen. So just one reusable text field we have created, and it's a very simple text field. We have our text field, we have controller set, so that we would be able to access its text, and whatever the changes we are doing in the text field, we'll be able to handle it with this controller. I'm just sending if the text field is password type or not. If it is password type, then we will obscure the text. If it is not password type, then we will enable the suggestion, and we will do the auto correction as well. If it is not password type, if it is password type, then we'll just obscure the text, right? And then cursor color is white, and we have some text styling. The input decoration, we have our prefix icon. So this icon which you see over here, this is through this prefix icon, right? And then we have our label text, this label text styling, right? We have the border set to the circular radius, right? And we have our keyboard type. So this is our text field, right? So this is a reusable text field which we have used in our sign-in screen for enter username and password as well. And I have created the email text controller, and over here it will be password text controller, not email text controller, this one, right? So we have two controllers, two text editing controller. One is for email and one is for password, which we will be using later on when we are doing the sign in finally, right? So now we need a login and a sign up button. So the buttons will look exactly the same, it's just the text will change and the functionality will change. So as you might have guessed, we will do the same thing. We will create our reusable buttons, and then we will use it in the sign in screen, and we'll be using those same buttons in the sign up screen. So let's create our reusable button. Okay, so our reusable sign in sign up button is ready, right? So what we have done is we have this elevated button, right? Elevated button, we have just covered it, or we have wrapped it inside a container so that we can give it some styling. So this is our container with the height and width, and then we have given it some circular radius, and in the elevated button on tap, on pressed, we are calling this on tap function. This is a callback function. When we will be using this function, we will use it in our sign in and sign up screen, right? And then if is login, so we have passed this is login context and function on tap, right? So on tap goes on pressed, context is being used over here to get the size, and is login is used to get whether it is a sign in button, like login button, or sign up button, right? And then we have this text styling for the sign in and sign up, and then button style. Button style means we have some background color. So background color we have white, and when we click on it, when we press it, the black background color would be black 26, right? 26 is like the shade of that black color. And then we have shape, it would be of rounded circular 30 shape of this button. Okay, so now we can call it from our sign-in screen, right? So in sign-in screen, after this rectangular text field, the reusable text field, I can again call one size box of 20 because I want to have some distance, and then I can call my sign in sign up button. Context would be context, is login would be true because this is for login, not for logout. And then on tap, I will just create a function which it is asking for me to do. So this function will basically, we will use it to do our actual login. So on click of login, we will make our Firebase API call, and once it is successful, we will log in, right? Now after this, I had the sign up option as well. So the sign up option, that is not very usable, so we can create it over here. So what I'll do, I'll create a function to return me a row. So we will have something like don't have account question mark, and then we'll have a sign up clickable sign up text. So let's create a row. Let's create a row sign up option. Let me just fast forward this. Now we haven't created our sign up screen yet, so that's why it's giving us error. So if you see, I just created a row with two text. One will say don't have account question mark, and then a sign up text. And on the sign up text, when you click it, it will open a sign up screen. So let me just create this sign up screen. So sign up screen. And let's call it from here, sign up. And there you have it, right? So let's just give some space so that it looks fine. Okay, and now when we click on it, it will go to the sign up screen, which we haven't designed it properly. So let's design the sign up screen. So our sign up screen is also ready. So as you can see, all we did is we just copy pasted our background screen linear gradient, whatever we had written in the sign in screen. I just copy pasted from here this complete portion and used it again over here. And in a single child scroll view, I have my column again, and I have all used all my reusable widgets like reusable text field for username, email ID, password, and then reusable sign in and sign up button, right? So when I click on the sign up button, it doesn't sign me up anything. It just takes me to the home screen, which is nothing. In the home screen, what I did is I just created in the center of the home screen, I just created an elevated button, which is a logout button. And on click of this logout button, I just push it to sign in screen. So it will go back to our sign in screen. Even in sign in screen, when I click on the login, I have added this logic. I've just added this navigator push to push me to the logout screen. So everything is working as expected, but we need to include our Firebase in it, right? So what we have to do is first create a Firebase project. So you have to jump into Firebase console.firebase.google.com, create a new project. I will say sign in example, right? And continue. All these things you want to enable. You want to enable analytics as well for your project because it is recommended, and you might want to need it. You will might need it later on in your project, so it is really good, right? Select your default account for Firebase or whatever is coming in your drop down. Just select that and create your project. So this will create a Firebase project for you, which you can use it in your client application. So you will be implementing, you will be doing some steps to connect this Firebase applications with your client mobile application. So we will do it in some time. Let it create first. Okay, so the project is ready. I can click on continue and it will take me to the project console. So as you can see, I have multiple services. I have authentication, Firestore database, real-time database, all these services are available for you once you create your application in Firebase. So Firebase is really cool and every developer should know how to work with Firebase. So we can create our project for iOS, Apple, and web application, and even for Unity. So we will be focusing on Android for this project, right? So we have to enter our Android package name. So if you go here in your folder over here in Android, in the apps, in the src, in the main, you have Android manifest.xml. In this, you will get your package name. So just copy it, paste it over here. These are optional, so we don't need it, but we need SHA1. So let's give it an name also. So I will just name it Firebase SignIn example, right? This is optional, so you can leave it. But this SHA1, if you see over here, required for dynamic links, Google sign-in, or phone number authentication in Auth, right? So it is only needed for dynamic links, Google sign-in, and phone number support authentication. So yeah, I mean, for this one we can leave it, but I wanted to show you how to create it. So what you need to do is just click on this and see this page. See this page, go over here, and then it will show you. For MacBook, you have to press enter this command, and for Windows, you have to enter this command, and it will give you the SHA1 key. So all you have to do is select this, go to your terminal. So where is my terminal? Let me just bring it up. Okay, and go to your terminal and just paste it over here and click enter, and it will ask me the password. So if you see here, it says the password is default, it is Android. So for anything, you just have to enter Android. If I enter the password, it will give me the SHA1 key. So just copy this from here. Why am I not able to copy? Okay, this much we need just this much, and paste it over here. So this is our SHA1. So you will need it if you need for dynamic links, Google sign-in, and phone number authentication. But yeah, I just wanted to show you how to do it. Register your app, and it will give you a download config file. You have to download it and keep it in your project. Okay, so we have this download link, so you can click on it. It will download the Google services.json file. Look at here. So what you have to do in Android application, in apps folder, you have to keep it. So close these. This is my apps folder in Android. So make sure you have selected this apps folder. Just drag this file and put it in this apps folder. As you can see, it just says number 5. We don't want this number 5, so just rename it, and we have our Google services file over here. Click on next, and you will see some settings that we need to do in our build gradle. So this is like project level build gradle. So you have to go to project level build gradle. So just close the app, and you will see this build gradle. So in this, you have to check if Google is there or not in the repository. So Google is there, no need to do anything. Like that, even at bottom, Google repository or repository Google is there, no need to do anything. But in dependencies, it says add this line. So just copy this line by selecting this, and in dependencies, just go to next line and paste it. So this is needed, make sure you add it. Now it says in the app level build gradle. So we are at the project level build gradle. Now if you click on this app folder, you will see a app level build gradle, right? You have to make sure all these lines are there. So apply plugin, this must be there for already. So you see com.android.application, it is already there. This line might not be there, so let's just copy it and paste it after this line. And then in dependencies, we have to copy this line, implementation platform. So let's go to dependencies and add this line, take this line as well, and add this line. So with this, our Google Android setup is complete. What the setup does is just connect your application to this Firebase service we have. This is a cloud service which we are getting for free, which is really cool, right? Also, you have to make sure that your version is set to minimum SDK version is set to 16, which is very low, and Firebase does not support to that level. So just make sure that you just upgrade this as well. So just do it 22, and this should do. So what you have to do now is you have to go to your main.dot and close every other file, close others. And yeah, one more thing is we have to include Firebase into PubSpec YML. So any outside dependency, we have to add those dependencies over here as well. So in the dependencies, we have to add our external dependencies. So how do you do it? So we have pub.dev, go here, say Firebase core, and it will give you this. Just copy it from here and paste it. And then we have something called Firebase Auth. So both these dependencies will need in order to get our email authentication working. As soon as we do it, our Flutter PubKit will start running, and we will get these dependencies added. Also, you want to add authentication, right? You want to sign in, so you have to go to authentication tab in Firebase and click on this get started, and it will show you how many ways of authentication you can do. You can do with email, password, Google, Facebook, play game, so many options it gives. What we are going to do in this application is use email password. I'll be creating more videos for these additional providers as well, but for this video, let's go ahead with email password. Click on this, enable this email password service, and click on save. With this, you will see in the enable services you have email password is enabled. So now you can use this service in your application, right? So just to test it, you can run your application and there should not be any error. And let me just initialize Firebase before we do it. So what we do is to initialize Firebase. Before initializing, we will say widget flutter binding dot ensure initialize. This will make sure that Firebase is initialized before we run our application. And we will say Firebase dot initialize app. Okay, and this is a asynchronous task, so we have to say async, and we'll have to say await. Okay, and this will make sure that our Firebase is initialized before we run our application. So just close the application and run it again, so that just to make sure that all our settings are working properly or not. This might take some time. Okay, so our app is running. As you can see, there's no error. It means our Firebase initialization was proper. So now what we need to do is we need to go to the sign up screen, and on click of the sign up button, we won't just go to the navigator, we won't just go to the home screen. We will make sure the user is signed up, and then we go to the home screen. So for that, we have Firebase Firebase Auth dot instance dot create user with email and password. So this is what we will do. And in this, we have our email controller, email text controller. Where is it? Okay, email text controller dot text. I'm not doing any validation over here, so you can do it from your side. That would be task for you, because we are focusing on the Firebase authentication part, like text. So we will pass our email ID and text to this function, and this function will create our authentication with Firebase. Like, it will create these function in our Firebase console, right? So once it is once the username and email ID is sent to the Firebase authentication, it will create the account for you, and then we will call this then. And in this, we can say if the username and account is created, then we can navigate to our home screen. Don't go directly, we will navigate it only when our username and account is created. What is the problem? Oh, there is an extra curly braces. Just remove that, and yeah, this should work. I want to show you that there is one more function which we can call, that is dot on error, so you can handle your error case scenario as well over here. Right now, what will I do? I'll just print it. I'll just print it over here. So I'll say, if there is error, just show me in the console what is the error. So I'll say dollar, where is the dollar, and error dot toString. So this will show me the error in the console. So this is it. I should be able to sign up and see it in my Firebase console, right? So let me say Harshivo, and then email ID would be harshivo edu@gmail.com, and then password would be welcome. I want to do one more thing, that when user logs in successfully, then also I want to print so that we have some log. So we'll say created new account, and when we click on sign up, okay, so you can see we have this success method, created new account over here, and once the account is created, we have moved to our home screen. So on logout, I want to sign out actually, so that also we can do right away. Let's go to home screen, and instead of calling this directly, what we will do is, again, we will call our Firebase Auth. So Firebase Auth dot instance dot sign out. It is as simple as that. And then I can call this then function, and inside this I will do our navigator dot push. So once user is signed out from the Firebase login, then we will go to the sign in screen. So I can just print over here just to show you that it has worked. Signed out. Let me put the okay. Now if I click on log out, you see signed out, and then it goes to the sign in screen. And now let's create our sign in also. If we go to sign in, again we have a very simple function to call. So that's why I said Firebase is amazing. You just have to set it up with the application, and then it's as simple as this, just calling some already created functions, and you would be able to log in, log out, and sign up as well. So I think it is sign in with email and password. Where is it? With email link. You see, there are multiple ways to sign in. What we have done is sign in with email and password. There is sign in with email links, sign in with phone number, sign in with pop-up. There are so many ways. So we can explore more on other things, but for now we will do sign in with email and password. Click on this. You will have to enter your email. So that is email controller dot text, and then text, and then our password text controller dot text. So this would log us in, and on this also we will call our then function. And once we are logged in, then we want to navigate to the home screen. So let's navigate to home screen, save it, and now we have to enter our email harshivo at edu@gmail. Come on, I can't write Gmail, and then password would be welcome. Let's write an incorrect password. Then what will happen? Let's see. We click on login, and it says there is some exception. it says the password is invalid, right? So we can handle that as well. You can write like dot on error, and then show the user some alert box saying that your password is invalid. Or you can write over here with the form validation, whatever you want. Right now let's just print it, error, and our dollar curly braces error dot to string. So this will just print it, but you can use it in multiple ways. You can actually do it you can show the in multiple ways. What happened? What is wrong over here? So I have not used my curly braces over here. Okay. So if you see, if I click on login now, it just shows me the error method, right? Not the exception. Okay, cool, because we have handled the error as well. Now let me just enter the correct password, and it should allow me to go to my home screen. And when I click on logout, I see this sign out, and I am on my sign out screen. I can again sign up, and you can see all these users in your authentication page itself. So I have harshivaedu@gmail.com in my users list, right? And I can see at what time she was created. I mean, this account was created, right? So this is how we this is how we embed our Firebase authentication with our Android application, with our Xcode, not Xcode, with our Flutter applications. It was as simple as that. For iOS, if you want to set it up for iOS, then what you have to do is just go to this project overview, and as we added our Android settings, we just have to add this, click on that add app and click on this iOS icon, and it would be similar settings as we did for Android. You have to show your bundle ID. So for that, I mean, you can check it in Visual Code, but I prefer to check it in our Xcode. So actually what you have to do is go to your folder where you have created your application, and go to your iOS folder, and then click on this runner XC project space. So once this opens up, you will be able to see your bundle ID, and we will do some changes as well, which would be needed for our Firebase setup, right? So first of all, this is our bundle identifier right here. You have to click on this runner, and then in the targets, when you select this in general, you will have bundle identifier. Just copy it and paste it over here. This is optional, so we can leave it. Register your app, and then you will have to download the config file, the Google services config file, as we did it for Android. So in Android it was a JSON file, in iOS it's a plist file. So just download it. Once it is downloaded, you will have to go to your Xcode, or you can put it in through Visual Studio as well, but let's do it in Xcode because we have it open. So in runner, see this info.plist, we have to keep it next to it. So in the runner folder, just drag this. We don't want to open it, we just want to drag it. Where did it go? Okay, I think it's gone in the downloads. Okay, there it is. And let's go to my Xcode and drag it over here, finish, and we will see our infos, Google service.info file. Let's remove this 4, and we have it. Great. So this is fine. Now what we have to do is, if you see, like we did in Android, we had to upgrade the minimum SDK supported version. The same thing we have to do for iOS. You have to go over here and see this is supported deployment info. The target OS is 9.0, which we don't want. We want to select something higher. We will select 12. Okay, and then go to in project as well, and here also wherever you see 9.0 selected as OS, select 12. I think over here as well you have to just enter 12.0, and that should be it. That's all the setting we need to you know embed our iOS embed our Firebase application in iOS application for iOS application as well for Flutter. Okay, so we can close it and go back to my Visual Studio and just run your application and it should work. So what I will do, instead of Pixel, I will select my iPhone 12 Pro Max and run the application. So this will take some time because we are running it for first time. Okay, so our app is running now, and if I try to log in with the email ID which I used while signing up in the Android phone, I should be able to log in over here as well. So the password was welcome and log in, and I'm in. Okay, if I log out and I want to sign up, let's do another sign up. I will call this one at gmail.com. I'll not include the edu, and I will say welcome one. Sign up. I should be able to end, and I should be able to see it over here. So let me just refresh this page. And there we go. We have both our email IDs, one which we entered through Android phone and one from the iOS phone. And we can use both the email IDs on both our devices as well. So there you go. You have your application linked up with Firebase Authentication, and you can log in both Android and iOS using your Firebase Authentication. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, please do not forget to subscribe, and do let me know in the comment section if you have any suggestion for my next video, or if you have any comments on this video as well. So thank you so much. Bye bye.